have to go that way a little bit.
Okay, here we are.
So we'll do the recall this way.
Hi, and now we're rolling across. We got the crates. We got Melony Phillips and her fabulous staff, Marietta, Georgia. Hi, delightful dog. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. How about yourself?
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm so glad that we are not. Yeah, I can hear you great. And can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Here's what I have to say. First, I have to say that this is kind of our part 2. We've got dogs. I think at least one dog, puppy, that's graduating today. And I really have to give you a shout out, Melony. We had, I mean, literally on one channel, and we've got 3 on one channel. You've got over 2,000 views on your first live Facebook with us 2 weeks ago. Wow. That's wonderful. Wonderful.
So we do have 2 puppies graduating today, and we started 2 puppies this week. If we can get Gerald back this way, we'll introduce him. Come here, Gerald. Come here, puppy. Come here. I know. Look at you. Of course, you would have come the other way. So this is Gerald. Can you see him?
Yeah.
He's a Cavalier. And he belongs to one of our local wonderful veterinarians. I know. Do you want to choose? This is his second day. So he's learning all the things we did on our last Facebook Live, where name game and color game, such as that. But we just wanted to say hi, give a shout out to our wonderful veterinarians that bring their puppies here too. And we'll let him go back.
Tell us cattle poo. Yeah.
So Cavalier, King Charles Spaniel, and Poodle mix.
Woohoo! Whoa! Boy, you got a brain on that thing, right? Yeah.
He's lots of fun and very cute.
And so when the families come and pick up, you kind of give them an update on what happened today and maybe where the dog is headed, etc. And, some prompts maybe for home, right?
Yes, and you'll see some of them will go home. Amanda's, who you see in the background there, she's our nursery supervisor. And so she'll be coming and going as the puppy get picked up. Some of them go home around 2:15. But we do tell the parents what they've done and how they're doing. If the parents have any questions, we answered some of them when they came in and dropped off. But if they're more in depth, we'll answer those when they pick up, because they have a slotted 15-minute pickup time.
So who are we going to see next? Are we going to see a graduating puppy right now? Because I'm quick. Who are we going to see next?
We are not going to see a graduating puppy right now because they're all playing in group right now.
Oh, fabulous.
And we'll talk about that and what happens when they graduate.
And what I love is
we're not going to see we're not. We're going to do emergency recall, and we're going to use one of our 14-week-old puppies.
Okay.
We're going to start with Sherman. We're going to do it, and then I'll explain it. All right?
Okay. All right.
The explanation seems less fun than the actual game.
Okay.
So this is Sherman. He's 14 weeks old.
Oh.
Hi, baby. He is half lab and half husky, and lots of fun. So in our emergency recall, we're going to call his name once, and then we're going to repeat the words come, 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 come until he comes to us. We're using freeze-dried liver, and that's the only time we use freeze-dried liver, and he's excited about it, and we want him to be super duper excited. So I'm going to disengage with him, and Amanda's going to call him real quick, and then I'll call him back to me. That's the kind of response I want. So I'm going to call him back. Sherman, come, come, come. Sherman, come, 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 come. Good job. And we would be holding his harness. If he had one on right now, he doesn't, because he likes to chew them. So we're going to touch all around where his harness would be. Okay? Call him back. Sherman, come, 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 come. And you see, we only call when he's not headed to us. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Here you go. Do you have another piece? Okay.
It actually looks like he's happier each time this happens. Look at that. I mean, the tail is like, back and forth and circle and just so happy. And now he's being picked up and tail still wagging, going back in his crate, and he's fine. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So what we do with this is it is a conditioned response. It conditions two individuals. It conditions the dog to come, and you practice it until it's truly conditioned. We pair it with freeze-dried liver. You can use what you want, but it needs to be something high value. And so we use freeze-dried liver. This is Rosie, and I think you saw her last time.
We saw her last time. So 2 weeks ago, we saw
Yes.
Rosie.
Yes, and she is now also 14 weeks old, and so she's grown a lot, and she's still a little mouthy, so we're just moving our hands away when she starts to bite on us. But the conditioned response, it conditions the dog to come so that their brain kind of shuts off and their body just comes when you call them. And it conditions the humans, because if your dog got out of the car, out of the house, or something happened, excuse me, thank you, then even when you go, oh my gosh, what do I do? Your next thing is to do the emergency recall. So it conditions the human and the dog, which makes it doubly good. So we're going to do this emergency recall again. We call their name, and then we do say the words come, and staccato sound until they come to us. That goes back to Pavlov and ringing the bell and pairing it with food so that the dog salivated. And then the staccato sound, I believe, was Patricia McConnell did a study on that and how puppies or other dogs will come to a staccato sound. So we combine that. We're not the only trainers. Other trainers do it as well. And that conditions them to come. And it has saved so many dogs' lives that
what do you mean
I've
by
lost
that?
count of how many people here have said that. So dogs had gotten out of their car and the people didn't have control, and they were headed to the highway. One of my clients, we have a lot of coyotes around here, and they'll climb the fence and get into people's yards. And we had one do that, and the dog was staring at the coyote staring at the dog, and the owner hesitated a second and then did the emergency call, and her dog no longer said, oh my gosh, there's a coyote in the yard. She just came and ran to her, and she wouldn't have won the fight with the coyote.
That's a conditioned response, and it requires repetition, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what I talk about, when I say consistency. So we can call it repetition, we can call it whatever, but you've got a few primary things. Staccato and is a high value treat.
Yes.
Right.
That we only use for this call.
Okay. And then, like I said, name or no name, it's a matter of timing, actually. So you use the name once, and then you say, come, 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 come.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And we do that. If you have multiple dogs, I'll sometimes just say, pups, come, come, come. But we want to make sure that staccato sound happens and they come to us till we have them safely in our arms.
All right. So the thing about
we're going to see.
Men are worried about that sometimes, that they can't reach the staccato, happy.
Yes.
But Patricia McConnell will explain it very well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I actually had a client whose voice was very, very deep, and he said, I don't think I can do that. And I said, okay, so your homework is to figure out what works, because I didn't have anything. This was years ago, but he came up with woo, 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 woo.
There you go.
He made that sound.
I have another gentleman, he sings. Somehow he finds a song that works for the dog. So
excellent.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if Rosie will come to me. She's kind of looking at some of the other dogs, so that's a bigger distraction. Rosie,
okay.
Come. Yay, you made us good. Thank you.
So she made a choice, right? She made a choice to come. Yep.
And she made a choice that time to leave me.
Okay.
Rosie, come. Good. And I continue to call until I have them secure.
Okay.
Because when they reach about 6 to 8 months, if you stop calling, then they'll just kind of squirrel off and go someplace else.
Okay. Do they have to sit eye contact?
So Amanda did not.
Go ahead.
No, they don't have to sit. They do not have to sit at all. They
Okay.
just have to come to you. So Amanda didn't call her, so she's not feeding her. So I'm going to call her back. Rosie, come, 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 come. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? We'll have Amanda call her now. There we go.
And that was only like, I only heard like her name and one come here what only once or twice. So the dog, yeah, go ahead.
I think we're kind of, you're a little delayed when you're saying something, so I don't mean to
Right.
speak over you there.
No, go.
She did say, come, until the dog came to her.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
And
Very
then
cool.
we've got one more. Biggie, you saw him 2 weeks ago, and he was smaller. He is a French Mastiff, so Small's relative. Hi, Pumpkin. Do you want to say hi again? He's like, whoa, let me see what else is going on. Hello, good afternoon. So this is Biggie. He's still trying to figure out where his legs are. There you go. Let's see if we can get him on camera. Hey, Biggie. Hi. Can you say hi? Let's see. He's a lot. There we go. Oh, my goodness. He's like, I don't want to play. So we're going to put him down and let him do that. There we go. I think you can see him now.
Oh, his legs.
So we're going to do our emergency recall.
Yeah, his legs doubled in length. Yeah.
Yes, they did. So he also has sometimes trouble finding them and moving around. So he'll trip a little bit. Let's go down easy. There we go. All right. So he's smelling the liver. That's what's getting him real excited. So we're going to see if we can get his attention to come minus trying to get the whole liver container. So Amanda, you want to call him real quick? And I'll let him down. There we go. Biggie, come. Hang on, he's eating. He's trying to find his new teeth. There we go. So he just wanted to go for the whole container.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is we do need to make these treats that they are getting high value, but also very small, right? Very small, where they're not going to take it away and then chew. Right. Okay.
Yes. And he's their teeth are coming in, so sometimes it's hard to figure out how to use them. They don't always chew like they did yesterday.
Uh-huh.
All right. So that's our
now,
three.
Tell me a little bit tell me a little bit more about the jumping up, because I've asked that, and I find that jumping up is usually a punishable offense. And it's not with you and the puppies. So tell us a little bit about that. That it's okay, it's allowed for a certain period of time, or on cue. What?
It depends on what they're jumping on and whether they're allowed to. We allow them up on the couch.
Yeah.
We also reward them off the couch if family members don't want them on the furniture.
Okay.
Good job,
but I'm more talking people, especially young people, old people. Yeah.
So on jumping on people, we just reward 4 on the floor, so it pays. Excuse me, just a minute. Let me get a treat.
Yeah.
All I had was the liver, and we needed to have something else since I'm not doing the emergency recall. We reward 4 on the floor. So right now, I don't know if you can see him. You can see his tail. Come here, Biggie. Biggie. Come here, Pumpkin. So we reward when they're 4 on the floor. So when he comes up to us, we're going to let him have a reward for just having 4 paws on the floor.
Okay.
If we ask them up, then that's different. But we don't have a lot of jumping here. We have some as they're learning.
Yeah.
But for the most part, here you go. We just reward when there's 4 on the floor.
Okay. I like that a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And then you can add a word to that later on or something like that, right?
You can. We don't actually have to.
Mm-hmm.
In our group play, we reward 4 on the floor too. Doors open. They don't have to sit. They just can't be jumping on the door. So
Okay.
as soon as they have 4 paws on the floor in any fashion, then things happen. They get petted. Doors open. They get to go play with their buddies. They get to come out and hear them play. Because we do 4 on the floor, even in their crates. They're not pawing on their crates to get out.
Mm-hmm. That's, this is the banner that I just put up now, is the uniqueness of Delightful Dog and its success. Because you've been in business how many years now?
Well, I've been a trainer for about 15, but we've had this facility in our nursery for about 5.5.
5.5 years. That's amazing to have a physical facility like that for that long, puppies only. And, and that speaks volumes. But there's a uniqueness here. And I think it's, from just talking to you and diving in a little bit to what you do, it's more like getting inside the puppy's head.
Yes. We created our nursery in order to work with their critical developmental stages. So how they're growing physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it's not just putting in a group and letting them play. They actually, we're working with how they are. Are they in a fear period? Are they growing so much that they can't focus on something else? So how do we work with them that day?
And so you found that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I lost you. What was that?
Yeah, I was just saying that, that you found that out through your, now 20 years of dog training, puppy training. You found that out as a result of watching them and watching their success, correct?
Yes, and reading the studies, and I did not create this on my own. There's several people and trainers who specialize in puppies, and one of those co-trained with me for many years. She helped with creating this whole nursery. So, and then we've grown as studies have come out more. We are not what we were 5 years ago, and I want every year to improve.
Nice. And it improves with your studies, the studies that are out there, and your success rate. You've got to look at that as a final line. That yes. You've been in business for 5 years. That's fantastic in this day and age.
Well, and when we started the nursery, the puppies aren't fully vaccinated, so we had a lot of people saying this will never work, and so we created it to keep them safe. They're not intermingled in the back kennel with everybody else. And we go in stages for when they get to walk around the building in other areas. So like at 14 weeks, so these guys are 14 weeks old, they started taking what we call field trips. So they tour more of the building than they did when they were younger. We carry them as much as we can until they're 13 weeks old. And then they walk to our potty area, which we have a special puppy potty area. And then at 14 weeks old, they've had more of their vaccines, their immune system's stronger. So at that point, we get to let them tour our building, and meaning they go through the grooming room, they go through the kennel area. Can you put him in his crate? So thank you. And they go, there you go, hop down. We have a safety gate area, so they can go watch the group that they're going to interact with and learn to play. They've already met adult dogs in the nursery, and at 15 weeks, they start playing with more dogs who like puppies. So we handpick who their friends are and how they play.
Beautiful.
And now they're settled down.
Now we talked before we went live about pottying, and that if they potty in the house, if they potty in the area, then that's okay. That's okay. And we talked to you. I think what did you say? Something about they feel good enough to potty. They feel good enough, safe enough.
Yes. Yes. Some of our puppies won't potty the first day or two in our potty yard. It's fenced in and it's safe, but they can hear the outside noises. And so some of them are too nervous. So if they potty in here, it doesn't upset or detract from their house training. We're
Mm-hmm.
glad that they're comfortable enough to um, empty their bladder or their bowels. And then once they're comfortable in here, they get more comfortable outside. We take
Mm-hmm.
them to try, but if they indicate at all that they're not comfortable, we pick them up and bring them back in. If we let them be scared, they just never potty out there.
There you go. There you go. It is all about that, right? And here, the last question I really want to have you tell us is, how can we do something at home to help our dogs and housemates? So what, in a perfect world, and somebody came back and said, "Gee, Melony, I was able to accomplish this, or I was able to try that, and I'm going to try it again." What would you have us take home from this experience?
I would have everybody focus on the things they really like that their dog is doing.
Okay, tell me more.
So if you like your dog not jumping, then focus on rewarding when he's got 4 on the floor. If you like
Mm-hmm.
your dog not on the couch, then reward on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So manage that. And we do some of that with just hand management, a lot of it with leash management, which you and I will talk about on another Facebook Live. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but people tend to just watch their dog when they're doing things that they don't want them to do, because we tend to ignore them if they're quiet or behaving. That's just normal. So now we're saying change that, reward everything you like, find out what they're doing, pay attention to them if they're doing something you like, say good job, give them a treat, pet them, throw them a toy. But so my focus at home is to help them by setting them up for success. Instead of saying, no, don't do this, say, oh, that's a good job. That's a good job. I like this. Because that's how their brain works.
That is beautiful. Set them up for success. Reward the right thing. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes, it
As
is
far as
that
housemates,
simple.
say that again.
Yeah, something about housemates, so it sounds like we could almost translate that straight into, happy, proper play, into sharing, into, show me the signs of what you don't like that doesn't work for you as a puppy with your housemates. And I include either other dogs, cats, teenagers, children, the elderly, those housemates
Yes.
also. Okay. Can everybody treat the dog? Can everybody give the dog treats?
Yes. And young children may need to be assisted by their parents. But you can
Mm-hmm.
either toss a treat on the floor or give it on the flat of your hand so they lick it off. We don't
Mm-hmm.
give like this. Most people put a treat in their hand and give it like this, and then they
Mm-hmm.
do back and forth.
Yeah.
I call that catch me if you can, and they
Mm-hmm.
can. And that's when
Mm-hmm.
people get nipped. So we
Mm-hmm.
do either toss on the floor or flat of the hand.
Perfect. We're going to sign off. Is there anything else you want to throw in before our next one? You want to give us some homework?
Um, well, just pay attention to your puppy. Reward the things you like. That would be probably my mantra here always.
That is beautiful. You said it. I am so excited. Happy graduation and happy full house. It sounds like you've got a full house. Happy full house. And until next time, let's do this again 2 weeks, and we can see either, more graduations or brand new puppies. And again, thank you. And thank you for everything that you do and all that fabulous positive information, and shout outs to people. Shout outs like to McConnell and what I'm able to do also with very positive people. So thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
All
Melony.
right, good.